Can we get W's in the chat tonight? Can we get some? Look at the lighting. The lighting's good over here in this hotel. Let me see. Dark. Oh, it's kind of. I don't know. I need my eyes adjusted. Anyways, welcome tonight, ladies and gentlemen. The 49ers have fired. Yes, they fired their special teams coordinator, Brian Schneider, cooked him to the curb. This man's special teams was so terrible this season, and not just this year, many years in the past since he's been the Niners. He just was not a good special teams coordinator. Today, Kyle Shanahan made the decision. He gone. Yesterday during the final game of the season, Kyle said, don't ask me about specifics. I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot of things I need to take care of. We'll get to that later in the week when Kyle and John address the media. I'm sure this is going to be one of the talking points. But today, officially, it was like 10 o'clock p.m. Pacific. It's like past midnight on the East Coast. This man got fired from the 49ers. Brian Schneider, the special teams. This is the first domino of the offseason. This is a great dub for the 49ers. They're starting off strong. This is it. The 49ers are going to figure out what their issues were and attack them. Offensive line definitely is something I'm sure they're going to attack. Defensive line, defensive coordinator might be next. But today, the special teams has been an issue. And they said, you know what? Let's make a move. I am so excited. The 49ers are serious. This season, it's already off to a fantastic start. This was amazing. It was a good first move of the offseason. Like, this was fantastic. This moves the needle. This tells me the 49ers are serious in 2025. Because in 2024, they were very unserious. This year, the 49ers are serious. Oh my God. I'm so elated right now. You guys hype? You hype? Next, maybe Sorensen. Maybe they cut Jake Moody. There's a lot of issues on this team. And it looks like the 49ers said, look, we need to figure out what the issues are. What are the problems? Let's get to the root of it. And special teams was abysmal. So bad. It was so bad this year. You can go look up all the metrics and the stats. You don't need to look up the stats. You watch the game. And they made mistake after mistake after mistake. And it was you gotta figure out players and coaches that aren't helping you win. And tonight, the first domino was Brian Schneider. He's gone. Let's go. He gone. Can we get a he gone in the chat? Because he is done. Time to drop the wide nine next. They might. This was an embarrassing and frustrating season. I agree, Stephanie. Absolutely. I agree. There's going to be so much that happens this offseason. I could already feel it. And again, the Niners are not happy with losing. This is a proud franchise. John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan, whether you like them or not, whether you think that they've done good or not, they've put this team in position to get far and win. They've built a good team, and they haven't got to the They've gotten to the promised land, but they haven't finished the job. Right? They haven't finished the story, and they have issues, and they don't like not getting a chance to get to that promised land. Like this year was a bad, frustrating season, like you said in the comments. And today, the 49ers are telling us we're going to attack those problems. Great. I'm happy. I'm so hyped up. I think everybody is very excited about this if you're a Niner fan because you want to attack those problems. And today was that type of day. And there was some other news today we'll talk about, but I just really want to go over this. Brian Schneider firing. As boom, breaking news. Everybody's hyped. This is crazy. Some people are sleeping. I don't know. They're gonna wake up to the news of Brian Schneider fired. Done. Cooked. You guys happy? He gone, man. Moody was handpicked by this guy, says Big City Man. Well, if that's the case, Moody's gone. There's gonna be, like I said, coaches first. The teams have to get rid of the coaches first because you can replace them a little bit faster, a little bit easier. Because you have to install the coaches before you go out there and make the players. Get the players in the off season and the free agency and all that stuff. So coaches are going to go first. I know a lot of people want certain players gone, Jake Moody, et cetera, et cetera. But you got to get the coaches first, and then they need to go and make the decisions on who they want to bring in, and that's what's going to happen. The team needs to go figure out, okay, what coaches do I like? Okay, let's bring them in. What players do they like? Let's try to bring them in. And I think that's what's going to happen here. It's just the natural course of a off season. And today, first step, like I said, domino number one. We're going to see domino number two, three, four, whatever the case is. I'm excited. I'm so happy. Like this season already seems like there's some good to it. The 49ers have a last place schedule. And whatever, that's the schedule. We play the games. They should be able to win. They should be able to improve this team. And they're already taking things serious. This is what I like, that the team is being serious. They weren't serious last year to me. They weren't. This tells me that they're moving in the right direction. So yeah, unbelievable. Big City says, appreciate you going live. Nobody else did, and I needed to. I'm here. I'm in LA. I just got done with Raw Netflix. Shout out to my boy CM Punk. And I'm live. I saw the breaking news. I was like, I got to go live with the folks because I love you guys. Because this technically is my job. So vent it out. Get your feelings out. Get your thoughts out. Tell me how much you don't like Brian Schneider because guess what? He gone. Sayonara. Don't let the door hit you with the good Lord split you. You gone. I'm so hyped up, bro. Like I'm so hyped, man. Julius, my boy Julius over here is so hyped up. He says I have a draft crush. Jaden Walker, offensive linebacker, outside linebacker from Georgia. I like him too. He's good. We'll talk about draft another day. I'm this tonight is a night where we celebrate the firing of Brian Schneider. So happy. So happy. It's great. What's great? Let's talk about today though. Today was a busy Monday. A lot of news. A lot of news happened today. um, you know, last day of the season was yesterday. So the players and the coaches, they come into the locker room, they clean their lockers, and they say farewells, they bid adieu. And today, Brock Purdy was in his locker room. They asked him. He says he wants a drama-free, stress-free, quick, seamless off season. He's not gonna. He says he's not gonna wait it out. He wants to try to get this done. Get back with the team, build around it, build his team back, and get back to ball. Like that's Brock Purdy. He's focused on making sure he gets that contract extension set up and getting it done. He doesn't want drama. I like that answer out of him. And he says he wants to stick with the Niners. He said this is where he wants to play his career. So it tells me that he's really committed to this team. He's going to try to get it done. Now, the question is when the money comes, is going to like say, "Oh, yeah, that's not enough money." And that's going to be the agent. But I do think Brock is very sincere and in telling us that, "Hey, I want to get this contract done ASAP immediately." I like that. I want it to get done quicker myself. I think we all do. I think we don't want to see this drag into the, July, August, off season, training camp, preseason. And I think Brock's going to try to make it um, quick and seamless. He said today he doesn't want drama. I like that. So I think that was a really good point today to point out. That was great. It's great news. A couple other things. George Kittle said he wants to be a Niner for life. He said it yesterday. He doubled down today. And, he was embarrassed by this season. And I think everybody was saying that, Nick Bosa, Fred Warner, they've all said, how this season was just embarrassing. And I could tell, like, those guys, especially, they're tough. They're leaders. They're great Niners. They don't want to see this shit happen again. Sorry, excuse my language. They don't want to see this happen again. So I think that this team is going to be refocused, recalibrated. And you got a guy like Kittle that wants to stick with the Niners. You love that. I think him and Fred Warner hopefully retire as a Niner moving forward. So that's going to be good. George Kittle, basically, again, double down. He says, this is where I want to play the rest of my career. And I think we're all happy about that. Now, there's another guy yesterday that told Nick Wagner that he doesn't know if he's going to play with the Niners or not. He says he's still, at a high level, but he had to take a pay cut last year and he wasn't happy about it. Kyle Juice, fullback. Do the Niners need a fullback? Most teams don't use a fullback. I know he's a great player, a great leader. We love him. He's underutilized, blah, 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 blah. Niners are not a fullback away from winning a Super Bowl. Great player throughout his career, but I think they could afford to, you know, get rid of him and maybe save some money. He's getting paid a lot of money. I love Kyle Juszczyk. He's a great captain and leader and all that good stuff, veteran. But at some point, you got to part ways with them. And most teams don't have a fullback. I know he uses, they use him as a blocker and everything in the run game. But you're paying him a lot of money to be like a utility player. That's all I'm saying. So he might be gone. He wants to stay with the Niners, but he says he's not like pressed to play. He wants to go wherever team's going to let him play. And he still feels like he has a lot of, years left in him. So we'll see. I don't know if Kyle Juszczyk's going to be back. I know a lot of fans love him. I mean, I like him, but I'm not going to lose sleep if we lose Kyle Juszczyk. I will lose sleep if we lose George Kittle. That's my guy. So that's a Hall of Famer. So we'll talk about some other stuff. Ricky Pearsall, great guy, great interview today. He said, he wants to meet the person that shot him and forgive him. And he says, life's short and I want to teach him some lessons and go from there. Ricky Pearsall's going to be great. I love his attitude. I love his character. Great interview and just a humble young man. I love him. Another guy that had a great interview today and kind of bittersweet. Charvarius Ward. told the media that he has PTSD from all the trauma after what happened with his daughter, and rightfully so. I can imagine what he deals with every night, and says he throws up. It's hard for him to come to California, and he is a free agent, and that's gonna weigh on him to probably not bring him back to California. It's tough. He says he comes to California and he struggles sleeping. And his girl, his wife, same thing. Like she comes and it's hard for her to focus. I can't imagine them losing their child here in California. A lot of bad memories. So I love Travis Ward. I hope if he doesn't come back with the Niners, he goes to a team that really loves and supports him and pays him what he wants, because he's a fantastic person on and off the field. I've talked to Charvarius many times. Man, he's hell of a guy, man. So prayers up to Travis Ward. It was very candid. It was just like a very open and honest conversation he had. It's like he's very vulnerable, and not a lot of people do that. These, like, especially men, they don't want to show their feelings, and it was kind of refreshing. I was like, wow, Travis is a good dude. He's a good dude, and I feel for him. But I think we've seen the last of Travis Ward in a Niners uniform, and it's unfortunate. But we do have some really young guys that are very good. Diamond Lenore took that step this year, and Renardo Green, dog. These guys, see the record he set. I posted it. NBC Bay Area, they got to the stat and they posted it, so we credited him. Renardo Green set the 49ers franchise record for rookie defenders. Out of all defenders in the history of 49ers defenders, every single defender in 49ers history, he has the most pass breakups in 49er history as a rookie with 13. It's incredible to me. That's great. He broke the record previously set by Eric Reed, and now he had 11, and now Renardo Green holds the record at 13. He's going to be a dog, and that's why Travis Ward is expendable. So Renardo Green's on a rookie contract, and he's an absolute clamp champ. So, good stuff, man. Let's see. What about Moody? He has to leave. I think Moody will be gone. Raj, you can tell players in the locker room they were ready for the season. Yeah, you kind of get the vibe. I think people were like done with this. People were just like checked out. They were done. You know what I mean? Like this team, I feel like mentally this team needed a reset, and I think it's right. I think it's a good thing they got a early exit. I know we all want them to be in the playoffs, but this team was, faced a lot of adversity, injuries. Players lost children. Player got shot this year. Like there's just so much they had to deal with. I think overall this team just they needed a reset. The Super Bowl curse, their Super Bowl hangover, all those years of playing all those games, it caught up with them injuries. I just think they were mentally checked out. I don't think they were a serious team this year. And if they somehow would have limped into the playoffs, it would have been a first round exit. So I think they needed this year to be humbled and recover. I think it was a good learning lesson from them. And hey, today we're celebrating the firing of Brian Schneider. So it's fantastic. I think it's great news today. And I think there's going to be more good news. I just really think this offseason's off to a good start. And, it's a dub in the chat tonight. First dub of the 2025 season. Fired the special teams coordinator. I think that was great news. And I think more dubs to come. I think everybody's happy tonight because this is the thing. And I know it's like, dang, you're evil to celebrate a player or a coach getting fired. I think it's the collective group of 49ers fans like, dude, we suck at special teams. Get rid of this guy. Like, why can't you figure out what the problem is and fix it? And tonight they did. They said, hey, this was the problem, guys. You guys were right. We're going to get rid of him and fix it for you guys. I think the Niners are showing us. Front office, this team is showing us, like, we're committed to winning. This was an issue. I know he's a husband, he's a human, he's a parent, all that. Like, it sucks that he lost his job, but you sucked at your job. And you were getting paid a lot of money, maybe not millions, thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars, and you were really bad at it. We need coaches that are good, because if you want to get to the Super Bowl, you need good players and good coaches. First step, it sucks. It's a business. You sucked at your job. Now let's find somebody that's better than you. And I think fans wanted this, and that's why we're excited to see the 49ers are making those changes that need to be made. It's going to be a tough offseason for a lot of players, a lot of coaches. Again, there's going to be fan favorites that might not be back next year. And they're doing it for the better of the team. So, good stuff, man. Yeah, respectfully, you sucked at your job, Schneider, says David. Respectfully, you sucked. MSQ. So, you got any candidates? Not yet. I just got on the news and been out tonight. I don't know yet. I don't even, honestly, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I'm a special teams savant and tell you that I know all the special teams coordinators out there. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't. We'll figure out who the hell is going to be the special teams coordinator. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say, oh, yeah, well, Tom Smith. I'm not going to be that type of guy. I'm sure there's content creators out there that say, oh, yeah, why don't you go Kelvin Smith? He's the guy. Oh, go get him. I'm not going to tell you that. I know that they need to upgrade over Brian Schneider because he sucked. Go get someone that's good. I'm sure Kyle is doing his research and his due diligence with John Lynch. So none of us are. Oh, man. My man, 49ers media says, hire me as special teams coach. I ain't taking the job because if I mess up, if I do bad, y'all will roast me so bad. No, not doing it. Oh, man. Edgar says, the season didn't go our way, but I do believe they should keep players and let's go for a run at it. I mean, there's some players that are going to be back. George Kittle, Nick Bosa, Fred Warner, the core players. The cores are going to be back. There's the players are going to be gone, man. Like, I could see Debo getting traded. I could see Juice being gone. I could see Hufunga not coming back. Although I think they'll bring him back because safety's a weird position and they can give him a 1 year deal. But I do think there's going to be a lot of players that aren't back this year, and it's going to hurt a lot of egos. It's going to hurt a lot of fans. It's the business. I'm not going to be mad at it. You need to get better. We need to get younger. We need to get players that are committed to winning and excellence. Tired of coming in second place, last place in the NFC division this year. So I hope Kittle stays. I think he will stay, Gamer. I think he'll be back. I hope Greenlaw comes back, but that's going to be a tricky one because of the injury risk. But I do think the 49ers love Dre Greenlaw. Fred Warner, Nick Bosa outplayed Fred Warner. Yeah, to an extent, but also Fred Warner played through a fractured ankle. So I think you got Fred Warner is a dog, man. Good news for Fred. This was posted earlier. He didn't have to. He doesn't have to have surgery this offseason on the ankle. A lot of people were laughing. They said you're just gonna rub some Vicks Vapo rub on it. If you know, you know. I thought that was funny, but no. In all seriousness, Fred Warner, he played commendable. I know he didn't play at the high level he normally does. He played through a fractured ankle, man. That guy's amazing, and that's what made like Devondre Campbell quitting on the team just so much worse because you had a guy like Fred Warner playing through the injury. You had Charvarius Ward today. He tells us about the PTSD, and you had guys quitting on the team. Like that shit's crazy. So shout out to Fred, man. Shout out to Nick Bosa. He did play good. A lot of people hate on Bosa. I thought he played good this year. He played through a lot of injuries, and he played at a pretty good level. Shout out to Nick, man. I love Nick. I think he had a pretty good season. Obviously, he got paid like crazy money, and everybody expects him to have 25 sacks a year. He played through injury. I think he played good for whatever the season was. You know, so try to hire back Robert Salah. I hope they do. That'd be great. MSQ says my thoughts on if a quarterback makes a Super Bowl appearance, two NFC championships, and a Pro Bowl in his first 3 years, they're not considered a QB worth paying. Yeah, I know everybody wants to. Well, that's Brock Purdy, right? And the thing is, there's a lot of context into the Brock Purdy. I think he does deserve to get paid, but then you look at his season this year, he regressed. The O line is an issue, the weapons, and people say, okay, even if you have all these issues, you still as a quarterback should be able to lead your team. I think there's a lot of variables in that scope with Brock Purdy, but you also got to realize arm talent. He was in position to win a lot of games, regardless of all the stuff that happened this year, the adversity, whatever. They were still in position to win a lot of games, and he threw some interceptions. So he needs to clean up those decisions. He's a young quarterback. I think there's some room for error there, and hopefully he can continue to get better in those decisions. But also not having CMC, I think Brock deserves to get paid, but I think the question is how much does he deserve? And this has been the talk of the town for the last several weeks, probably a month or so at the very least. And the question is not whether he's gonna get paid. We know he's gonna get paid, but it's how much is he gonna get paid? And I think people are not too keen on paying him $60 million because the last couple of games he didn't look like a great quarterback out there. He's a good quarterback. I think the story is amazing. You mentioned the accolades there. It's very well documented how much he's risen above all the adversity. But 60 million to me is a little much. But then you look at the market, Tua, Trevor Lawrence, those guys are getting paid a lot of money. And you can sit here and say Brock Purdy's done more than them. He's better than them. So he should get paid at least what they're getting paid. So it's a weird market. But I do think Brock Purdy will get paid. I'm not saying he's not worth it. I just don't think he's not worth $60 billion. Somebody said, not Niner related question. What did I think about Raw on Netflix? I thought it was fun. I was there live. I thought it was a hell of an event. It was fun. Actually, we liked it a lot. And with how bad this 49er season was, it was nice, like, off-season event to get your mind off of 49er football. And I thought it was some great matches. CM Punk, Seth Rollins, classic. Good stuff. I think there was some cool surprises. The Rock came out, Undertaker came back, some nostalgia, some cool new stuff. So I think it was a good way to kick off the premiere on Netflix. It's good. Defense choked. They sure did. I want Salah back. Yeah, he's a consultant for Green Bay, but we'll see what happens this offseason. Roman Reigns. Gotta acknowledge that guy. I love Roman. I'm still hyped that Roman Reigns retweeted me a couple of weeks ago. So it's my guy. See, any other question? Are you guys excited that Brian Schneider got fired today, man? Are you guys excited? Give me out of 1 out of 10. How hyped are you that they just fired their special teams coordinator? I'm fucking hyped, man. Yeah, real quick, last couple questions here. We'll see if you guys have any, but yeah, let's talk about it one last time. Brian Schneider, special team coordinator, was fired tonight. I love it. At the wee hours of 9:50 p.m. You gotta love it. I love it. Late night firing, got me fired up, man. Got me hyped up. Next is Sorensen. Yeah, 12. My man 49ers throwback says 12. Deb Topia says 100. Nathan says, did I see Joe Shasky's video saying he wouldn't mind having Aaron Rodgers? Stupid, man. I mean, Aaron Rodgers was great through his career. I'm not going to hate on the man's career. He's done. Just let Aaron Rodgers retire. He's probably going to retire. What could have been? They could have drafted Aaron Rodgers before. We all know the stories. Stop it. Aaron Rodgers is not winning a Super Bowl at the age of what? 40? He's like 40 years old. Stop it. I think he had a good second half of the season with the Jets, poverty franchise, but let's just leave that story alone. Some people like to just create stories. It's the off season. You guys got to remember, if you guys forgot how the off season works, let me remind you, people are going to throw stories. They're going to throw darts at the board. There's going to be a lot of rumors. There's going to be a lot of fake tea. It's smoke season, ladies and gentlemen. Take it with a grain of salt. My man Ryan says, do you think the 49ers could trade for Myles Garrett? I hope they could. I don't know if they could. I don't know the logistics right now. But I'm telling you right now, Ryan, if the 49ers have a chance to go trade for Myles Garrett, go do it. Come on, give me. I don't think it's possible because of the money, but we say that every year. I'm sure there's a way the 49ers can figure that out. But you know. Any case, yeah, you guys have a good rest of your night. I get some sleep. I gotta hit the road tomorrow morning. I got a long way back, but I love you. You guys have a good night. Am I tired from Raw Netflix? I'm not tired. I just think I'm tired from traveling, but no, it was a good day. I'm hyped up. I was a little tired. I'm not gonna lie to you when I got home or to the hotel, and then as soon as I saw that notification, hyped up. You guys have a good rest of your night. I love you. Bang bang, Niner gang. Brian Schneider, he gone. You guys have a good night. Love you.